Hello, welcome to Mystical Adventures. My name is Anne Vivian. Happy holidays. I'm so glad you have joined me today, tonight, this morning, this evening. Welcome. A couple of quick announcements. I am offering a holiday sale, 35% off all sessions with me. If you'd like to learn more about me and my services, you can check out my website, creativepsychestudio.com. 35% off. 25-minute session, which is usually $50, is now $30, and 35% off. A 50-minute session is normally $100, and it is $65. I hope I said that correctly. The 25-minute session is $30. The 50-minute session is $65. Now through the end of the year, and I'm just asking you to please book your session before the end of the year and schedule it before January 15th. I just wanted to offer something back, so that's my way of giving back this holiday. I would love to work with you doing an intuitive coaching session, an intuitive consultation. Please check out my site if you'd like to know more about me and the kinds of sessions and work I do. I'm an intuitive coach. I'm an artist. I'm a clairvoyant. I integrate different modalities to work with people. And I'm excited to work with people. I absolutely love it. It makes my heart sing. Speaking of singing and sounds, this upcoming week, December 22nd, I'm so excited to have my friend and colleague Bradford Tilden join us. He is a fantastic sound and crystal healer. And I am excited that the Winter Solstice show will have him bringing his sound and crystal magic to Mystical Adventures. So don't miss that. That's coming up next week. This show, I'd like to talk about the shifts and changes at the end of the year, your personal shifts and changes, and the cosmic changes and cycles, how you can empower yourself to work with this. I want to explore a couple of universal laws, and I'm going to quote some really interesting mystical texts from the Tao Te Ching and the Kabbalion. First, I'd like to share the message that I channeled for the Spirit Helper for this week. Every week I tune in and ask an evolved, expanded entity, angel, ascended master, spirit animal, to bestow me and my audience with help and guidance and an uplifting message for the upcoming week. So this week, who came to me but Archangel Ariel. Archangel Ariel, are you feeling earthy? Are you feeling grounded? You might be feeling Archangel Ariel's beautiful, grounding, earthy energy. She is associated with the earth, grounding, manifestation, nature spirits, nature animals. And here is the message Archangel Ariel has channeled through me for this week. Allow yourself to rest, ground, and rejuvenate before the new year begins, my dear. This is a time to celebrate and prepare your soul to enter the energies of the new year. Maintain your connection to the physical, with the physical, and with the Mother Earth. Working with the mystical earth energies can help you align with your own natural clarity, health, and abundance. The same energies flow through us all: animals, plants, the earth, humans, and all creatures. We are connected in wholeness. Use the power that runs through you to create beauty, love, and joy. Thank you, Archangel Ariel. I feel Ariel's bringing up the topic of cycles and earth energy is very relevant to what I wanted to talk about today, which is the cycles in the cosmos, the cycles in you, and how to work with these cycles, how to embrace them to make the best use of the energy presenting itself to us. I want to talk to you about one of the universal laws, a universal principle. The most famous one is probably the law of attraction. Of course, you probably heard of The Secret, Abraham Hicks. I love the material. I love all of it. And a lot of people talking about the law of attraction, a lot of law of attraction groups and books. And the law of attraction is an incredibly powerful principle to understand and work with. What you think about, you attract to you, like attracts like. And you create your reality with your thoughts. Turns out there's a bunch of other universal laws. Some people call them natural laws. Some people call them principles. I want to talk about the principles of polarity and the principle of cycles or rhythms today and how that relates to you in this time of the year. We are in a cosmic cycle of celebration and also slowing down, preparing to enter the new year. And in the Northern Hemisphere, we're entering the winter, which is a time of less action. So it can be helpful for understanding that we're in a larger scale cycle of slowed action and also of celebration and preparing to review this year, prepare for the energy shift in the new year. And as I read to you these excerpts from a couple of different texts, I want you to think about where you are in your personal cycle. How are the cosmic and collective and earth political and community cycles affecting you? Are you in harmony with those? Are you maybe in a very active cycle, even those around you are in an inactive cycle? That's okay. And it's okay also to be in a slower cycle, to be experiencing a cycle of rest. You might be feeling like your cycle is forced upon you, that you're being forced to rest or you're forced to work. But if you can, notice where your balance is and pay attention to if you get an intuition that you need to rest more to balance your energy, because we cannot be productive and effective if we're running on empty, my friend. We cannot be there for other people if we haven't nurtured ourselves. If our cup is not running over, is not overflowing with abundance and nurturing, we don't have that abundance to give to others. And if we're working ourselves to exhaustion, we're not going to be very effective at our job. So for a lot of people, now is the time when they are given permission by society, by the natural cycle, to take a rest. And I'd like to suggest, if that's you, if you have been working really hard and it's hard for you to slow down, sometimes I can relate to that. To be sure, it's helpful to confront that guilt about slowing down, having fun, resting, and realize that you need to go through cycles of rest and rejuvenation in order to be energetic and productive and disciplined. We all need to be a little wild and crazy sometimes so that we can be disciplined and wise and mature. We all need to be a little lazy and restful in order to be productive and active. So one of the excerpts I'm going to read you is from a beautiful mystical text. I love this text. It's called the Kabbalion. And it is a text that was written in the early 1900s, I think 1910, that is recording the teachings of, supposedly, I believe it is true, an ancient mystic named Hermes Trismegistus. And he was a mystic associated with ancient Greece and ancient Egypt. And the text is talking about Hermetic philosophy. So it's talking about some universal, what they call universal principles. I call them universal laws. Someone else, I was just reading another book by another medium who calls them natural laws. But they're principles, they're patterns, they're laws that you find throughout the universe, from the tiniest atom to the most expanded solar system. And they talk about these patterns that exist all over the universe that many people believe are divinely created patterns and universal laws that apply to us all. So I want to read to you an excerpt from the Kybalion talking about the universal law of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. I'm going to read that again. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. It's from the Kybalion chapter on polarity, the principle of polarity. What do you think that means? It's rather esoteric, rather mysterious, but these are universal principles. And think about how your life has poles, your life has duality, and in order to reconcile that polarity and duality, how can you embrace both action and inaction? I want to read you another quote from the Kybalion's chapter on the universal principle of rhythm. Everything flows in and out. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swings manifest in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. It's from the chapter on the principle of rhythm in the Kybalion. I think a common phrase that might speak to this universal principle is, what goes up must come down. If you've been really inactive, you're going to have a buildup of frustration and you want to be active. If you've been really active, you're going to have a buildup of exhaustion and you're going to want to slow down. In fact, if you don't, sometimes the universe nudges you in the other direction to balance you out because it's a universal principle. The next excerpt I'd like to read you is from the Tao Te Ching, and this is from Taoistic.com. I misspelled it here when I printed it out, but I believe it's Taoistic.com. And this is from verse 28 from the Tao Te Ching. Then the Tao Te Ching is a mystical Asian text written by Lao Tzu, a mystic who talked about polarity and wholeness and duality quite a bit in this text. Knowing the manly, but clinging to the womanly, you become the valley of the world. Being the valley of the world, eternal virtue will never desert you, and you become like a child anew. Knowing the bright, but clinging to the dark, you become a model to the world. Being a model to the world, eternal virtue will never falter in you, and you return to the boundless. Knowing honor, but clinging to disgrace, you become the valley of the world. Being the valley of the world, eternal virtue will be full in you, and you return to the state of uncarved wood. When the uncarved wood is split, its parts are put to use. When the sage is put to use, he becomes the head. The best way to carve is not to split. I love that last line. The best way to carve is not to split. Don't split yourself by only focusing on work or play. Look at your schedule. Look at your daily schedule and assess where you need to bring yourself into further balance. Do you need to give yourself permission to rest this holiday? Do you need to prepare yourself to have more action in your life? Wherever you are in your cycle, it's very common for us to feel guilty for not always being active. And it's very important to understand we do need periods of inaction and decrease. We need periods where things fall apart, things come to an end in order to make room for new beginnings. So embrace the cycle you're in and And if you're being really critical of yourself because it feels like you're in a cycle you don't want to be in, it might be helpful to ask yourself, is maybe this a cycle for my best good? And it's helpful for me to align with these energies. We are now at the point in the show when I get to take a live call. And I see that we have caller Nina in Waterford, New Jersey. Welcome, Nina. Hi, how are you doing tonight, Nina?
Nothing. It's cold outside, but I'm inside.
Oh, I couldn't quite hear you. It's cold outside, but you're inside. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's cold. I've been out, and it was so cold I came in.
Yes, it's cold. I'm in New England, and it's very cold. I think we might get some snow later this week. So, Nina, I'm talking about cycles today and talking about the importance of letting ourselves rest. Do you feel like you've gotten enough rest in your life, that you've let yourself rest and play? No.
No. I'm always doing something, It's like, oh.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to give ourselves permission to do that sometimes, isn't it?
It really is. Like you say, I shouldn't be sitting here. Let me go do what I have to do, and then I'll sit down and jump up like a jack in the box.
Yeah. And I think that's something we learn living in this society, and we need to unlearn it.
Right.
And so how do you play and rest? How do you rejuvenate yourself?
I just try to relax. Like I'll go outside and, like walk around or something and come in and just sit and like read. I like to read stuff.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's time to read a little and walk around outside a little.
Yeah, it wasn't so cold.
Yeah, I know. It's hard when it's cold. I just bought some new snow boots so that I could deal with the oncoming snow because my old snow boots kind of fell apart. So, Nina, how can I help you tonight, my friend?
I had a question about my husband. I can't stop. I think he's going to die. And I said, "You're not going to die, if God tells you." Bothering me.
Oh, Nina, I'm sorry. I am having a little bit of trouble hearing you. And can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Could you just repeat what you said? I can hear you now. I'm sorry. Yeah. Would you repeat what you said?
Yeah, I just said that my husband has prostate cancer, and it's not looking too good. And he keeps saying, "I'm going to die." And I go, "You're not going to die till God tells you, it's your time to go." And then you go. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear it.
Yeah.
So, how about Nina? How about I tune into how you might, what spirit is guiding as far as how to support, for you to support your husband right now, and guidance on the situation. Is that okay? Is that
yes,
in alignment with what you were wanting? All right, I'm just going to tune into your energy first.
Okay.
Well, as I'm tuning into your energy, Nina, I get this beautiful golden light, and I see you out on a beach, just like embracing the light. And I feel how you are really expansive in your energy right now. And I think that might be part of some tension because husband is going through something really difficult, and it does what he's going through does require you to shift your energy to focus on him. And I feel like, keep in mind, it's not a bad thing that you have a natural golden energy right now and you're thriving, and you can have moments where you're carefree and expansive. And that doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull some cards for guidance on how you might approach the situation with husband. I'm really sorry to hear about his diagnosis.
Yeah, I just don't know what, like I keep saying, well, you'll be all right. Not everybody dies from cancer, and I mean, but it just looks like
definitely. We have so many, advances in medicine, and so many people do recover. Well, I feel like
people are living there.
Yeah. I feel like husband has slowed down, and he might be in a cycle where he's a little withdrawn and not as willing to talk about things, and he might be and he might be wondering his own role in his health and wanting to reflect on some things and understand kind of what's going on with himself internally. And I feel you are by his side, Nina, and you're wanting to understand what he's going through, and you're wanting him to talk more, is the message I'm getting. And you're feeling frustrated, yes?
Yeah.
That he's not communicating as much.
Like, I hate to be like, why are you being so grumpy? Why are you being so mean? I go, I'm not, but you're just, like you're getting on my nerves.
Yeah. How is he getting on your nerves? And how is he getting on your nerves, Nina? May I ask?
That's because he's not, like I say, just like try to laugh a little bit or try to look at something on TV and try to cheer him up a little bit. And he just like, well, you don't know what I'm going through, and and I'm like, all right, whatever, I'm not going to argue.
Right. And and I feel like that's part of what I was seeing with the golden energy of you, like, out on the ocean, out on the beach. You're expansive, you're shining your light. And I feel like that's part of the guidance is it's okay for you to shine your light and to be your expansive self. And it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, because he's in a very different cycle where he is turned inward. He is not communicating, and he's doing a lot of self-reflection.
Right.
So I feel like part of the guidance is, as you give him a little bit of space, and it might actually help him to figure some things out and help him to get in touch with his pain, which would help him to get in touch with that emotional healing. He's just not ready to talk about it. And I feel like if you just back off a little bit and let him, do his thing and kind of withdraw into his shell a little bit, even though that feels counterintuitive to what to do to be a supportive partner, I think he would really appreciate it, Nina. And I think he senses your love, and he senses that you care so much. He's just wanting to deal with this kind of in his own way. And the last part, I'm sorry, yes?
Yeah, so I feel, I know what you're saying. I feel that, like, sometimes I try to just back away,
Yeah, I think it might really help. The last card I pulled is Strength. And that's a beautiful card to pull in a situation like this. And the images of a young woman pulling open the jaw of a lion gently. And it's about strength through gentleness. It's also about healing. And I feel the message with this card has to do with allowing a natural cycle to happen and allowing the way that you care for him be a very gentle, subtle way that you're offering help and support. And to just even be there next to him is really healing for him. And I feel like he does have a lot of healing energy around him with whatever, treatments he's getting medically and with your energy. And I feel like he's actually really receptive to nonverbal forms of help, healing, and support. So you just being present, you just kind of doing your thing adjacent to him or in the periphery, in the vicinity, you going outside and bringing that earth energy back, or putting on music that you find uplifting so he can sort of heal it in the back, hear it in the background.
Yes, I do. He likes country music. I'll put it on for him.
I think that those kind of things are really healing to him, and I do feel like he's moving through a cycle of healing in a really positive way. And I think he really does appreciate you, Nina. So I hope
I know he does.
Yeah, I hope that was helpful, my friend. We are coming to the end of the show, but thank you so much for calling.
That was very helpful. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. And blessings to you, Nina, and your husband, and healing to him. I want to thank you, viewer, listener, for tuning in today. And to just remind you, I've got the special going on through the end of the year. If you'd like to book a session, creativepsychestudio.com. Psyche is spelled Psyche. And I'm also on Facebook, facebook.com, Creative Psyche Studio. You can find those links on the A1R website or any of the A1R social media. And remember to take care of yourself, my love. Remember to understand your own cycle, to embrace it, and to find a way to rejuvenate yourself, connect with the earth, connect with loved ones, enjoy the holiday as much as you possibly can. And I will look forward to seeing you with Bradford Tilden next show, December 22nd. Blessings. Take care.